I'm mining Rick. Okay. So a mining machine, what it does is it detects movement on the network. This here is a graphical representation of all the Bitcoin that is moving from place A to place B on the network. Okay. And so what happens is the machine has to detect that movement, and it sees that there's movement. And so what it does is it picks that job up, and it has to perform a mathematical computation. The first computer that performs the mathematical computation correctly then posts it on the network saying, yes, this Bitcoin was moved from place A to place B. As a result of doing that posting, for example, this block here was $10 million. $10 million for this block here. There's a fee that is attached with this transaction. And so the little fee was 3 million sats. Okay. The miner who picked this up and posted it, that's the miner that earned the fee. Okay. Every other computer that picked it up but didn't process it first, their posting comes up as confirmed. Okay. And so those confirmations are great, but they don't get paid for the work. And that's just the way it is. As that work is being processed, every 10 minutes, this block is revealed. And the entire block, as part of this process, Bitcoin is created. Okay. So all of this Bitcoin that is created and the fees get dumped into the mining pool. And only the computer that put it there can pull it back out. Okay. This is very significant. Only the computer that put the transaction that posted it gets to then pull out that amount of money that they earned. Okay. So this means that you have to be part of a mining operation to be able to pull money out of the mining pool. Now, I talked about a second ago how you can earn Bitcoin 3 different ways. You can buy it. So you say, well, how am I buying it then? Well, the way you're buying it is retailers buy the Bitcoin from these miners, and these miners sell it to them. And those retailers buy bulk, massive amounts of Bitcoin, and they then, like Qcoin or Coinberry or Kraken or there are many different exchanges that buy bulk Bitcoin, okay? And they buy it and then retail it to us at a higher price, of course, because they're a retailer. And so that's how, if you want to buy it, that's how you acquire it, is from one of these retailers. The way the retailer acquires it is they buy it directly from the miners who put it there. And that's the only people that can pull it out of the mining pool. So this is where we come in, okay? Because there are innate flaws in the way that mining is produced. Number one, if a mining machine is, all it does is churn the speed, full speed ahead, and it's 100% electricity cost, and it churns full speed ahead. But if it's not picking up the right jobs, and it's only performing confirmations, it's not making any money. Okay. And so this is how we come in. This is a bit booster. Okay. What this does is, I'll explain about this. The way this works is this becomes the brains of the operation. Okay. And so this detects movement on the network. This is connected to the mining farms. I'll explain that in a second. But it detects movement on the network. And what it detects is, with all that movement on the network, what it says is it sends these jobs to the miners to do. And so they simply receive a job from the booster, and they produce it sends them the easiest job first, then the next harder job, then the next harder job, and then the hardest job. Okay. And so by firing off these easy jobs first, they receive those commissions for those easy jobs first. And these harder jobs that get processed last, they take a long time to compute, to register. And so this process allows the mining machine to become more efficient because now it's only working when it's told to work, because otherwise it just full speed ahead, full electricity. Okay. And as a result, this machine, with the help, this machine helps the mining machine become more efficient to process more effectively these jobs. And I'll bring it back to the other statement I made just a second ago. Those jobs that don't produce any money, it doesn't send those jobs to the mining machine. And so our mining machines become more efficient because they're only processing jobs that make us money. Whereas let other machines do the confirmations. Let them do the confirmations. They're not getting paid. Why do we not want to? We want to get paid. Right in the chat. Who wants to get paid? Yes, we want to get paid. And so that's why we have a mining machine. Okay. So the way it works is the mining machines produce Bitcoin. They produce a certain amount of Bitcoin, and it fluctuates, goes up and down. This is the thing about mining, is it produces different every day. It's a little bit different. It's not the same amount. It depends on lots and lots of variables. Okay. But the way the contract works with us and the mining farms is anything extra above what they normally do that day is our contribution. And so our contribution, we then share back to them 60% of the Bitcoin that's created, mined. 30% goes to us, the booster owners, and 10% goes to the company. Okay. So the way that works, since we started in April, well, in March, we started in March, we have produced Bitcoin. And we've produced, as an example, on the 26th, up to the 26th of June, we have produced 100 Bitcoins in this contract that we have with the mining farms. Of those 100 Bitcoins we've produced, 60 of them went back to the mining farms because they're the ones that, doing that work. 30 Bitcoins went to us, the booster owners, and 10 went to the parent company. Okay. So let's compare this business with any other business. Like, who has been in business for themselves? Write in the chat. Have you ever been in business for yourself? Have you ever done a more brick and mortar business? Just yes or no is fine. I've been in business for myself. I used to be an IT consultant, and I didn't. Okay. My buying my business was me pounding the doors, talking to people, and but education, that was my contribution to the cost for my business, $50,000 education in computing. Okay. But other people, they get into business other ways. Like, they might buy my mom and pop shop, and that's okay. So let's compare being in business, a regular business, to being in business for yourself with Bit Boosters. Okay. So you've got $50,000 worth to buy a business. That's not, that's very realistic. You've got monthly costs. So you've got electricity, you've got product, you've got employees and their drama, you got stuff. Okay. And these, by the way, these are all money leaving the system even before you start making money. So this was the startup, $50,000, but every month you still have that $1,000 that you need to dish out to stay in business. So your monthly estimated is, let's call it $1,000. Yeah, that's pretty typical. Your yearly income is $12,000 as a result. Now, let me tell you about BitHarvest business. Okay. So you buy 50 boosters one time, you paid $50,000. Now you don't have to buy them all at once. You could buy them incrementally, one shared, or you could buy them one booster at a time. That's okay. Whatever it is, let's say you buy 50 boosters, that's $50,000. Okay. But you buy the booster once, you never ever have to pay for it again. It's bought. You bought it. It's making you money. You don't have any membership fees. You don't have any monthly costs. You don't have any production costs. You don't have any you don't have any of that. None of these extra monthly costs. It's a one-time fee that you bought the asset for. It's an asset making you money. Your daily income, $200. Your monthly income, estimated $6,000. Your yearly $72,000. Put in the chat. Who would sooner make $72,000 as opposed to $12,000? Who would sooner make that for the same output cost? Like, I'm going, wow. For me, for my background, yeah, this is super great. So let's compare it. Let's compare it to real estate. Okay. So in real estate, for me to have a passive income with real estate, I'd need to have 5 properties, let's say, working for me. Okay. If I were to hold on to the properties. But let's just compare one property. Okay. So one property, $100,000. Again, you don't have to start off with 100 boosters. There are people that do. There are people that have bought 1,000. They walked into the store, walked into the office, said, "I want 1,000 boosters." And everybody goes, "Wow, 1,000 boosters." But it's because this is the best business in the world. It truly is. And for multiple reasons. And I'm going to talk about those. So one property, $100,000. In my case, I have to buy another property and another, so that I could have a passive income. Or 100 boosters, same price. And now I've got a passive income. But here on the real estate, you got to fix it up. You got to advertise. And here's the thing is you can't control, if you're planning on selling it, you can't control when it sells. You can only control at what price you want, not even at what price it sells at. You can't control that either. You can only say, well, this is what I'd like to have for it. Or you could put tenants into it. But by the way, so if you have, a property, you've got every month export of costs, an expense. Every month you have now an expense that's costing you money, that's not making you money if you don't have a tenant, or not making you money if you're waiting for the sale. It's an expense. So let's just say your monthly income is $500. So for me, again, if I want to have, a passive income every day that I need to have like five units. That's a lot of money to dish out. Yearly income, $6,000. Or again, who would choose boosters over properties? Now, here's the thing. Because you've got an asset working for you, it's working for you. This is an asset. Buy your asset and then turn around and do properties, because you now have a stable income making something for you. That's making money for you because it's an asset that's working for you. One-time purchasing price, no monthly costs, no membership costs, no upgrade costs, nothing. No, because your girlfriend is crying on your shoulder costs, nothing. Simply one cost, one time. 100 boosters, $100,000, same price. Daily income, about $400. Yeah, that's a nice income. Monthly estimated, $12,000. Yearly estimated, $144,000. Who would like to have 100 boosters on their working for them right now? And by the way, I haven't even talked about talking to people. I'm simply talking about you doing what you need to do to get yourself out of the rat race. I'm talking about what you can do, because I'm only in control of me, not in control of anybody else. And so because I'm in control of me, I look for things that can change my finances, that make a difference to me. So let's compare one Bitcoin. Let's say you've got one Bitcoin in the bank. Okay. Next year, it'll still be one Bitcoin, but you probably spent a little bit because you needed some money. So it probably isn't one Bitcoin, a year from now. But let's just pretend it's one Bitcoin. Next year, still one Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin has gone up, and that's really great. It is really great. But it still isn't generating money for you, other than, as it rises, you can pull a little bit out and you still have the same price. So let's compare buying one Bitcoin to buying 70 boosters, okay? 70 boosters generate you about 1.823 Bitcoins a year. So this is the important part, okay? 70 boosters you make 1.823 Bitcoin a year. Next year, you would still have 70 boosters and you would make another 1.823 Bitcoins. The year after that, you still have 70 boosters and you make another 1.823 Bitcoins. Who would like to have 1.823 Bitcoins coming into their house every single year? Write in the chat. Who would like that? I know I would. Now I said next year you'll have 70 boosters. That isn't quite true because next year I would take some of this Bitcoin and put it back onto boosters, and I would have 80 boosters, 90 boosters, 100 boosters, whatever it is. Next year I would have more. And that means the year after that, I would make more Bitcoin because as you compound your account, it pays you more. And so the way I grow my account is I buy a booster and then I take out a little bit of the funds that grows. I buy another booster from within the account. I haven't added any more money. I only bought the booster the one time and I've not added a cent more. I bought the booster. It generates money for me passively. Every day, I pull a little bit out and buy another share. Every day, I pull a little bit out and put it in my pocket because you need to be paying yourself along the way. We're in business for ourselves. Who wants to be in business for themselves? Who wants to make passive income? Okay. Let's say that you've got money and you want to raise your pay. What do? Just buy a few more boosters and you increased your income. Okay. So here's a chart showing pretty much if you buy one share, that's the minimum that you can buy is one share. It produces about 30 cents to 50 cents a day. And it produces about $12 a month. Like, is $12 a month what makes a difference in your life? Is $60 a month makes a difference in your life? Hey, Andy, in the chat at some point in time, I asked, tell me, just quickly look through, what's one of the numbers that someone listed as what makes a difference in their life? One of the numbers.
We've got 5,000 a month, 3,000 a month, and 3,000 a month.
Okay, so 5,000 a month. Let's use this one right here. 6,000 a month, 50 boosters. So those numbers, 5,000 a month, between 30 and 50 boosters. Okay, most people, and I agree with you, most people between 10 and 50 boosters, that makes a difference for them in their lives. Okay, again, you start where you're at. Like, you look at your finances and you figure out, where are you? Like, you need to know where you're at, first of all. And if you can start at 10 boosters, yeah, that's a nice start, because making $30 to $50 a day, that means you can buy a share every other day. That's really nice. Okay. And you're pocketing money too at the same time. If you can start there, great. Some people I know, like, she walked into the office, bought 1,000 boosters. She's getting paid $3,000 to $5,000 a day, $120,000 a month. 2 weeks later, she walked back into the main office, bought another 1,000 boosters. Okay. People that understand how to make money. I'm trying to tell you how to make money. People that understand it, they jump on as quick as they can, because here's the reason why, is because there are only 500,000 boosters being sold. This isn't an infinite number. It's not an escalation. It's not a exponential compound curve. It's not. There is only 500,000 boosters, and when they're done, that's it. So you got to get your boosters when you are. This is so start where you're at. Okay. Start wherever you're at. And if you can't start, well, like I said, I started with one share. And I'm growing my account. I'm up to 3.5 boosters, I think, now. Hey, Wendell, I noticed your hand stuck up. Come, what would you like to tell me about? Would you unmute him, please?
Yep. There you go, Wendell.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
So it just hit me right when you said it, looking at the slide. So we know Bitcoin is infinite. I mean, it's not infinite. It's finite. There's only a certain amount. And there's only 21 million for the whole world. Now put that in perspective. There's only 500,000, not 21 million, not 11 million. There's only 500,000 bit boosters. Way more finite than even Bitcoin. The thing that makes it for us, that gives you your own printing press in your family, a fraction of that fraction of Bitcoin is all there is for the whole world. Speed is the key. That's all I want to add. Oh my God, this is so crazy.
Yeah, no kidding. Like passive income, this is the best passive income ever. It truly is. It's the best company I've ever seen. I've done lots of research into a lot of different companies, and I'll give you those reasons in a moment. But if you want to change your destiny, change your life, then you need to start today. Do something. But if you want a pay raise, just buy another booster, another part of the booster, and you have a pay raise. Okay. So let me talk to you about the company now. Okay. The reason why this is the best company in the world. Okay. There's a lot of reasons why. Number one, it's a real company. Hey, I learned this 2 days ago. They are in the process of preparing to be listed on NASDAQ. Do you know what that means? Nobody lists on NASDAQ that's a scam. Nobody lists on NASDAQ that's a Ponzi scheme. Nobody, because they have to go through rigorous accounting processes, people looking at their books, they have to get a consultant firm to look at their books, so someone else, and confirm this is what's going on. And it's an arduous process to get listed on the NASDAQ. These guys are going through that process right now. Okay. That's really cool. Here's something else that's really cool about this company. They have their MSB license. Okay. The MSB, I'll show it to you in a second. MSB comes from fintech, and it's the right to work with finances. So they have their MSB license. If you're not a real company, you can't have an MSB license. You can't apply for it. Okay. Here's some other things about the company. You can walk into the door. You can walk. They're in Kuala Lumpur. Their office is listed on the webpage. You can walk in the door. No big deal. Talk to the receptionist and have an interview with the boss. Have an interview with people. People come in every day. In fact, this is how we became aware of this. My friend was sitting at his hotel in Kuala Lumpur having lunch, looks up, looks across the street, and sees bitharvest on the door. he's kind of a curious guy. Bit, what's that stand for? So he walks in the door. And he goes, hey, what do you guys do? And they told him all about it. This is how we became aware of it, is because he just simply walked in the door. Okay. This is a picture of a server room. There are 3 of them. Each one of these racks, there are one little square here holds 20 boosters. One row holds 100 boosters. One section holds 1,000 boosters. Okay, so there's a few thousand boosters in this room. There are 3 offices, three rooms at different parts of the city, and the reason why there are 3 is because they for disaster recovery. So if something happens, they're prepared. Okay, Andy, tell me about what you do to research companies. What makes a good company financially from your point of view? I know you do a lot of research into this kind of stuff.
I do, yeah, and I learned how to research companies. I've done it for about 35 years as a business consultant and under different hats on behalf of clients. But what I'm going to go back just a little bit further, because what most people do is they don't bother to research the company. All they do is they look at a platform and they see the platform doing what it does or saying what it's going to do, and they say, "Oh, I can make 5% a day for 5 days. That's brilliant. I'm going to get into that." And then when you try to convince them that's a scam, they don't like it because they've already set their heart on making 5% a day for 5 days. So most people don't even look at the company; they just look at the platform, and then once they decide that's something they want to do, they justify it. So they make their decision based on emotions, and then they try and justify it with facts. But unfortunately, with a lot of platforms, there are no facts behind it. There's no company behind the platform. So I always start with the company, and I want to know right from the very beginning, how was the company formed? Who are the owners? What's the repute of the owners? What's the repute of management? What's their legal status? What's their legal standing? What are they licensed for? What are they insured for? Because you can have a perfectly legal company that's set up for real estate, but that doesn't mean they're set up for to do forex trading for you, for example. They're a real estate company, so you want to look into the activities that they do. Can they prove they do what they say they're going to do, or what they say they're doing? Can you actually look at the trading records? And you have to be a little bit pedantic on some of this information, because we've seen big long lists of trades that people supposedly are placing, but when you actually go to those exchanges or go to find the trades that they're doing, they don't exist. It's just numbers they put up on a computer screen. So that's not easy to do, but you've certainly got to verify the real world activities that the business, the company is carrying out. You also want to look at the company formation in terms of, do they have enough staff to do the job? But a lot of these platforms online, and one guy with a good idea and a few $1 million in a Trezor device in his back pocket, and 2 part-time coders. He's got a good idea for a website, so he puts up a website. People give him lots of money. He wasn't clever enough, and that's not an insult to these people, because when you're forming a company, you have a lot of people with a lot of diverse interests, a lot of diverse backgrounds, a lot of training in how to set these things up. And so the fact that one guy with a good idea can't set up a company that can survive some of the things that come down the pipeline at him isn't a surprise. So it's not saying these are bad people. It's just that they weren't able to set up something that was able to stand the test of time through the changes to sorry, that video is putting me off, Walter. Would you mind stopping that?
Sorry, I figured I could just run it in the background while you were talking, because I don't want to hear what they have to say. I was just simply, sorry, Mike, go on.
No, it's okay. It's just I'm easily distracted. My brain's always busy.
Sorry.
Yeah, so when you're looking at a platform, look at the company first. Make sure the company is doing what it can do, that is set up properly. If they're a reputable company with approximately 50 or 60 people working for them, then you've got to have an HR department, you've got to have a training department, you've got to have a legal department, a compliance department, and so on. And you can very often tell if you look at the terms and conditions on a website or the privacy policy. You can tell if there's a proper compliance manager in charge. This thing will be 27 pages long, because he's got to justify his existence. If it's 10 pages long, if it's 3 paragraphs long, it's not a real company. They wouldn't put themselves in that sort of line of fire, because what happens is the regulators come in later, get that privacy policy and use it to hang people. Okay, so the compliance manager doesn't want to be the one that gets hung, so he's going to make sure everything is in there, all the rules, regulations, all of the acts of Parliament or acts of Congress, whatever it is, they've all been cross-referenced in there, and so just that alone, you can tell whether you're dealing with a good company or not. A proper company won't be afraid to tell you where they are, where their offices are, okay, and allow you to go and visit. A lot of these businesses I look at, I look it up on Google Maps, and I say, well, if you're going to run a multi-million pound trading company, you're not going to do it from a 2-bedroom flat in Croydon above a chip shop, and people don't realise that these checks are very, very simple to do. When people give on their website, they place references on the website, and you just right click on those pictures and check with Google Lens, and you find that same picture, who's supposedly a happy customer for this investment company, that same picture is being used to sell everything from boots to cars to hemorrhoid medicine, all over the internet. It's not difficult to do these checks. It's just that people don't do it because they want to believe the hype they've been given. Now, this business is, bitharvest is a pretty good business. When you talk about it, you go, that's all hype, not hype, but hype. But it stands scrutiny. You can go to Kuala Lumpur, you can go around the offices, you can meet the people, you can see the accounting staff, you can meet the engineers and the development people and look in the booster farm, and you can actually see, Walter will show you in a minute if he gets to it, is he'll show you how you can prove that the Bitcoin that's being produced by your booster is going through the mining farm, through the into the mining pool, and then the next person who gets hold of that money after the mining pool isn't the company. Once you bought the booster, your Bitcoin has nothing to do with the company at all. It's between you and the mining farm, and so you can take your Bitcoin directly out of the mining pool. Okay, so that's something people miss. The company don't actually give us any Bitcoin. The company sell us a booster. They plug the booster in and hook us up to a mining farm, and we make, our booster makes the Bitcoin. Okay, so it's nothing to do with the company. The company can close after you've made your Bitcoin. The company can shut up shop and go home. You still have your Bitcoin that you earned in the mining pool. Okay, so yeah, I know straight off the topic a little bit. I've gone from how to look at a company to make sure it's a good company into why bitharvest is a good company. But yes, I overstepped there, Walter. Sorry. Back to you.
That's okay. Thank you so much. No, I appreciate it because many people don't do research into companies like you do. Okay, you actually really do your due diligence, and I appreciate that. So what I'm gonna do is here, I'm gonna play a little bit video, and I'm gonna talk while she's talking. So this here that you see on the back end is the connection. That's the VPN connection between the boosters and the server farm. This screen here in the back end, and every single one of the transactions that are going on, those are listed here. So you basically have to have permission to come in and be in the server room. Okay, so you can't be in there by yourself. Right now, she's going to pull out a rack. Like I said, there's 20 boosters per rack in here. Okay, and sorry, 20 per side. And you can that's where the booster is being housed. Now, the reason why I like this as an IT guy is because I don't have to have my clients be babysat. I don't have to have that problem between the chair and the keyboard. I don't have to deal with that. The booster is housed right here at the main office in Kuala Lumpur. Okay, and you don't have to worry about your internet connection. You don't have to worry about lack of, like I saw Wendell said he wanted 500 boosters. I agree with him. I want 500 too. But I don't have 500 USB ports that I can plug my booster into. Okay, and so internet speed, number of ports, lots and lots of reasons why they don't and because people can buy it online, anywhere online, and it's not being sent out. So let me go down here, and we're going to pull up live the booster. What this is live. This shows that he's got his active devices, and this is the number of terahash that he's got on his account. And so what they're going to do is they're going to pull one booster off the rack. It'll then display here as disabled. And then we'll go down and we'll have a look at what the account actually shows. And so just let me fast forward a bit again. So they're going to pull it out. And so they've now pulled it out. All right. So right here, we go up and, right there. So it now shows as inactive. Okay. And so this is because the boosters are interacting with us on our apps. Sorry, it's not an app, it's a web page. They're interacting with us because it's detected to the network, and it's interacting with the server farm at the same time. And so it comes up as disabled. And when they put it back on, it then a couple of seconds later, then comes up as enabled, because in real time, this device here, each device has its own IMEI number, just like your phone. Okay, and every device is connected to your, it's logged to you. Okay, so right here, next page will then show as it comes up. It'll then show as disabled. Let's just give this a couple seconds here. There we go. So right here, this is his device right there, because it now shows as disabled, and at the front of the page, it will show as disabled as well. And so this is the device. So same IDI number. And in your back office in here, you can download this invoice. If you live in a country that certain taxing system, go talk to your tax consultant. I'm not a tax consultant. Go talk to your tax consultant. Explain to them that you've got a business that you've started. Here's some invoices, and you'd like to make some write-offs, and he'll figure it out for you. Because it's a real business with real invoices. Okay, so there it is disabled. And then when she plugs it back in, a couple seconds later, just let me speed back up. There we go. And so she'll plug it back in, and then a couple seconds later, it will then list as enabled back on his device. And so here we are at the top, and it's now active again. So this is really cool. Okay, so anybody can go into the office and talk to people. You have to have permission to go into the server room, and so that's why she was touring them around the server room, is because you have to have special permission. This is our CEO, Logan Lee. He's got a finance background, and he was running a little hobby mining farm himself, and he wanted to improve everything I've just described to you. He wanted to improve that, and this got him in touch with Lenny, who was one of the guys that worked on Ethereum. And so he's a really smart guy. And he was running this software in his lab for the 2 years before these guys met. And between the financing and the brains, this is how we've got a really good company. So if I go to the next page, this is, he's had many interviews with bitharvest, with Binance, 4 that I'm aware of that are recorded. Binance doesn't interview schmucks. They don't interview fake companies. They don't interview Ponzi schemes. They interview real companies with real people, real CEOs. And I suspect one of the reasons why they are interviewing is because they want us to list on their exchange. We at our expo, so they're on the floor talking to people. This is how we actually got our second contract with the mining company, is our CEOs on the floor talking to people at the exposition in May. And in that exposition, they won an award for the best technology contract, the best company. Okay, so here's some other stuff. Just to let you know, you can buy a booster anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter because it's not shipped anywhere. It doesn't matter where, because there's nothing to intercept at the border. There's no opening of the package, and you have to pay an extra fee for you because someone opened up the package on you and decided to see what was inside. You know, the nice service that the mail provides for us, eh? But there's none of that. It's just simply an application that you're able to log in, create an ID, and you buy it. And from IT's perspective, again, I don't have to babysit my clients. They just buy it themselves whenever they want, no pressure. They buy another one because they like and they've had a good experience. Okay, so this is a picture of our MSB license. This is the number right here. So 310002702605994. Feel free to look it up. It's that they received it from FinCEN. This is the right to work with financial services. Okay, again, only real companies have this kind of stuff. Okay, just some final pages. We in the timeline. Okay, we've got lots of stuff going on in the timeline, and there's lots of they're out in the real world talking to people all over the place. Okay, they're going to New York in sometime this month. Okay, so that'll be real cool. There's people all over that have come and visited the office, please do come to the office, come check us out. Okay, different types of events that we've been to in this past year. We started in March, and we're gung ho. Okay, here's a timeline for you, just to kind of keep up to page. There's only 500,000 boosters being produced, and that's what's done right now. Is those are for sale. Over these next several months, we've got we're working on a relationship with MasterCard so that you can have connected to your account the MasterCard and be able to withdraw funds directly. Speaking of which, why don't I put on this video, because you might find this very interesting. Okay, so let's put it over here, and I will expand it. I'm just going to speed it up just a little bit to around here, because she talks about how to withdraw. And so what this is a video that talks about
the bitharvest cold wallet.
Yeah, okay.
Scroll down again to identify.
Here, just let me explain what this is. Okay. So every single transaction on the network where Bitcoin is moved from place A to place B is logged. That's what the mining process is it logs this event. So if you go onto the net, you can link in and view these transactions. So what she's going to do.
Source of the BTC input. Click on the sender address BC1QKG, which is also a bitharvest cold wallet, having sent 0.499 BTC. Continue scrolling down, then click on the sender address BC1Q4LM, which sent 0.5 BTC. This is identified as the mining pool wallet.
Okay. Right there, you saw it via BTC. That's the mining pool that we're pulling from. Okay. So from your own account, every time that you pull up, every transaction that you get, you can log on to the net and then click on the links, and it'll take you to this page, and you can see the pathway where the Bitcoin came from. Again, if you're not connected to a mining pool, you cannot pull from the mining pool, and we are. Okay, it's your Bitcoin is being put there, and you're the only one that can pull it out. That is super awesome from my perspective. Okay, and so having the ability to withdraw directly from a credit card is golden. Okay, next thing on the stage is our token is going to be right now it's used as part of the setup process and it's burned in that process, but in the future it's going to be mined. Okay, and so we will be mining Bitcoin and our BTH token, and in the future it's going to be converted into a coin and then traded on like Binance. And this is probably why Binance is interviewing us, is because they want to trade our coin. So that, by the way, all right. So we make mining profits, and I think that's pretty much the end of this presentation. Is there, well, just briefly, okay? So up until now, I've only talked about passive income. If you have clients or friends or whatever that you're having a good experience, and you go, hey, my friend, would you like to have a good experience as well? And you talk to them, and they decide to buy a booster directly from the company as well, you receive some commission on that as well. And that's really nice. But that is an extra source of income that is simply extra. It's bonus. What your machine is doing, that's the thing that is important. That's what makes a difference in your life, because you have control of how many machines you buy. Hey, is there somebody that would like to stick up their hand and give an experience how much they've enjoyed BitHarvest? What's stick up your hand, tell me your experiences. Who's had a good experience? Oh, okay, I know everyone has had a good experience, but don't everyone stick up your hand, because we can't. Just a couple of people that would like to say, hey, this was what has happened to me, and this is how I've enjoyed my time here.
Well, I'll chuck in a couple of words here, Walter, and that is many of you know that I've been on the quest to find some of the best online businesses on the internet, and I've rejected many hundreds and narrowed it down to just a few that I think are worth considering. A BitHarvest, of course, is one of them. In that process, I was looking for something to do with Bitcoin mining, and I've been through trading and arbitrage and all these ROI scams and everything else. But I was specifically looking for something to fit the slot of Bitcoin mining. And I looked at probably about 30 or so in the last year, or 15, 16 months. And this is, well, one, this is the only one I found that's really legitimate, in the sense that it's got your best interests at heart. You get what you earn, not all of a sudden there's 18 other ways for the company to take money from you that you didn't even know about before you signed up. But it's the only one that really works, in the sense of you can see that every single day you make Bitcoin. Not, well, some days you make some Bitcoin and some days you don't, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So that's it for me. I've been looking for Bitcoin mining because I think we should all We should all be doing something to increase our holdings of Bitcoin every single day, just as part of our overall financial strategy. If we're not doing that, then we don't have a complete financial strategy, in my opinion. So I was looking for something and I found this, and I am overjoyed that I did. I'm having a great experience, and things are going well. It never moves as quickly as you want it to move, but you just keep on persisting, and one day you'll say, "Wow, look what I've done! This is brilliant."
All right. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate your comments. Is there someone else that would like to make some comments? Someone else that's currently in the room that would like to make some comments. Because someone coming in to the room and then sticking up their hand and wanting to make comments makes me go, you're out of here.
Yeah. We've had some fun games with the idiots, the internet trolls tonight.
Well, if that's it, then I will shut off the live Zoom and we will continue doing our training in the back office. Sounds like it's it. So hey, just for the recording, take action. Okay, it's important to take action. If you don't take action, you are losing income every day simply because the dollar is going down in your ability to buy stuff. Okay, so take action. Go create your account. Talk to the person that invited you to this call, and go take your account. Go create it. Try it out with at least a shared booster. Have a good experience. Look at your finances. Figure out what works for you. Okay, and then have a good experience. Make some withdrawals, and away you go. All right, you guys have a good night, and I will turn off the recording at this point.
Recording stopped.
And I will stop the live Facebook. All right, so George, you've stuck up your hand. I'm going to take the chance and hear what you have to say. Because, of course, if you're going to do something, unwise, you're out of here. Go ahead.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate you having me on the show. Are you still there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
Waiting to hear from you.
Oh, thank you. I noticed there's a warning about this company from the state of California. Have you ignored that?
Well, my opinion is the person who created that either A, is fake, or B, they don't know how to do research. Because, like I've said, you can't be a Ponzi scheme if you are in the process of getting your company listed on NASDAQ. Full stop.
Have you read the document?
I have, and nothing in the document other than
it's from the government.
It
Well,
says
that's to be
California.
trusted then. Okay, George, listen, thanks for bringing this bringing this up, because it is something that comes up from time to time. The fact of the matter is, if you read that document, what you'll find is that it's all opinion, it's all conjecture, and anything they state as facts is actually incorrect. You can find that in public records, in their own public records, not something I made up, but their own records prove that what they're saying is incorrect. And it's just some government official who's got a little bit of power, who's massively overstepping her bounds, trying to just upset the apple cart because of some personal issue herself. I really don't believe that document, if you were to take that document and take it to court, you would win. The difficult thing is that none of us have got millions and millions of dollars to be wrongly accused and wrongly dragged through the courts to prove that that's wrong. So basically what we're doing is just saying to people, if you're in California, don't promote the multi-level marketing part of this business. And there's no need to, because people can buy the boosters anywhere in the world. There's no law anywhere in the world about buying a device that's going to mine Bitcoin for you. Okay, there are millions of mining farms just in California, so there's definitely no laws against that. What you mustn't do if you're in California, or if you're talking to somebody in California, you must not promote the multi-level marketing aspect of it. Okay, but we're not that interested in the multi-level aspect anyway. We're interested in the passive income. And if people want to talk to their friends about it, about having some passive income as well, that's still not multi-level marketing. It's just sharing your experience that you bought something that you like, and so you're recommending it to a friend. You're not recommending the multi-level marketing aspect of it one little bit. So I hope you appreciate that. You know, this person in California has put her own opinions and her own thoughts and ideas. And if you've read the document, if you understand how to read a document like that, you realize it actually evaporates. If you take out everything that's conditional tense and opinion and conjecture, there is nothing there. It's just a waste of time. But she obviously feels she's got to justify her existence by producing documents like that. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. I think we should all be, the reason I took the time to answer your question, George, is because I think it behooves all of us to understand that these, you know, the governments of the world out there don't want you to make money from cryptocurrencies. They want you to be making your money in a way they can control. Okay, you've only got to look at the fascist governments of France and Canada and America and a lot of other places around the world to realize that that's the case. Okay, but of course there is nothing wrong with buying a rooster anywhere in the world, even in California, and plugging it in and making some Bitcoin every single day from it. And I know somebody's live streaming this, so you're welcome.
Well, they can't be live streaming it because we turned
Oh,
off.
okay, no, they were earlier.
No big deal. Oh, speaking of live streaming, I would encourage everyone to not view. Look at the where people get their money from. Okay, so YouTube as an example, you got a YouTuber who makes comments about whatever. By you viewing his YouTubes, you are paying him. You're giving him money, and of course, people will want to discredit or do whatever they can. They jump on the bandwagon opposed because it's a bandwagon that's moving. And as a result, they make money from that. And so I would encourage you to boycott any videos that he produces because he hasn't done his research and he simply wants to make money. And at the very, very end of his messages, he says, do this instead. So he's trying to make money his way, but he's using us to do that. So boycott his stuff. And that way he will stop making money and he will stop posting because he's got no ground to stand on. All right. Yeah. Shall we go on to the spin the wheel portion or directly to the back office?
Let's do the Wheel of Fortune.
All right. Let's do that. Okay, so here's how the Wheel of Fortune works. Okay. You will have a chance to actually let me open up the chat for right now, see if there's any other idiots on the line. Feel free to type. So what's going to happen is only when I say go, you're going to think up a number and no, not yet. And you will enter that number. Once I display the screen and you will enter that number and you pick a number anywhere between 1 and 39. There's 39 of us. Okay, George, you can't pick that number. You're out of here. I think it's time to go.
Did you get rid of him, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Well, you forgot an important part, Walter.
Yeah.
Birthdays.
Right. Yes. You're right. Birthdays. If there is someone that has a birthday, then please feel free to stick up your hand because you have won today a birthday. Okay. So there's actually 38 people. Andy, you know your hand is stuck up. Is it your birthday today?
It is, yeah.
That is super great. Andy, you won. And of course, you know the process. You're going to have to send Jan your your card. Yeah, happy birthday, Andy. That is super great. You're something showing your authentication, your proof that you are born today. So happy birthday, buddy. That's great. Okay,
thank you very much.
I'll thank you for sending those other messages, but they interfere with me looking at the documents. So I just simply scan for the numbers. Okay, so you guys got Dr. Andrew. You can't pick a number outside of the number that maximum number. So 38 is the maximum that we've got here in the room. Please pick a number other than lower. Thank you. Other than and if somebody has picked a number before you, that's the only time. That's okay. I understand. I saw it and I went, oh, you're not going to win if it's outside the numbers. Okay. All right. So just a couple more seconds. Just go back quickly, look, see if the number that you chose is there. And sure, Wendell, what would you like to say? Just ask them. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just scanned back through the numbers. I couldn't see them all, but CJ, tell CJ to put another number and he put in the same number I did. He put in the 8 as well after I did. Tell him to put in another number so he can.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Everybody, go back and look. See if there's someone that picked the number before you. If they picked the number before you, then just repick a new number. That's the only time you're going to get to pick a number, okay? So there you go. Just a couple more seconds and we're closing the chat. Are you ready?
Okay, LK, you need to put another number in.
Oh, you were lucky. I was just about to close the chat.
And Crypto J.
Okay. All right. Vernal, you just sent a message to me directly. Please send it to the main chat. Oh, that. Okay, I think we're good. Let's call it a day.
Okay.
Okay, locking down the chat. Oh, lucky you, buddy. Just got it in just in time. Okay. All right. We got 38 on the line, and I'm going to take that one out of there. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Actually, I think I forgot to do the click on that other stuff. So just give me a second here. Yeah, I did select it already then. Okay. All right. I am, and there's only 38 of us, so it's one time spin plus Andy got a win as well. Number 36. Is there a number 36? And if you picked a number, just stick your hand up. That way I see it. Are we going on? I think we
Yeah,
are.
I can't see a 36. I see a 35. In fact, I see 2 35s.
Very good. Off we go. $33. Any 33?
33, George. But George has just been booted, so George has just been booted, so
all right. Well, I guess we will go on then. That's too bad, buddy.
hang on, let me check and see if there's another 33.
No. Okay. Off we
No.
go. Well, that is so funny. Got himself booted, and he would have won. $18. Is there an 18?
We got over an 18. Got a 17. We got an 18. Verlin.
Yay! All right, Verlin. Verlin. Gee, I don't know why I can't spell it right. Where is your name so that I spell it right?
Yes.
Verlin Bab. Okay, so what you have to do, Verlin, is you have to send a message to Jen. And did you send the group of messages already? The stuff that I like to send? Andy.
Sorry, you're talking to me?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'll send that later. So, Vernon, pay attention. I'll send a bunch of messages in a moment. Click on that. Send a message to Jan directly. You have to have an account and with bitharvest, and then he will send your account name to him, and then he will send you the funds. So congratulations. Oh, and one birthday, Andy, as well. So let me put that in the notes as well. So that way he's got it good. Okay. One birthday. Andy Galloway. Way to go, buddy.
Mhm. Yeah, it was easy. It was easy.
Yeah. Can you unlock Wendell and ask what he wants to say?
Yeah, of course. There you go, Wendell. Come and talk to us, my friend.
Hey, yeah, Verlin is one of our team members. He's actually deaf, so he can't hear
Yeah.
you. So I will communicate with him on Facebook and just get his username and just send it to Dan. I'll tell him, hey, this is one of our team members. He's deaf, and this is his username. He won, and it'll coincide with you sending his name. So that should be the simplest way instead of trying to how to make it work.
That'll be perfect. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was deaf, but he says that he reads what I say. And so that's why, but thank you for taking that on to make sure it happens for him. Thank you. Okay, let's go on to the back office. We can close out of that, close out of this. I'll open up the chat again just to make sure we catch any more idiots. Because I'm going to be showing my back office, and I don't need to have idiots see my back office. I only want real people, that we work with here, and it's okay if you guys see it. Okay, so 5. There we go. Okay. So I want to show something really cool today because I'm an IT guy. No, I'm going to do screen 2 and over here. Okay, put that over there. Put that over here, so it's out of the way. I'll let you deal with the chats again. And did we lock the door? Yes, we've locked the door. I locked the door just now. There's no point letting anyone else in. Okay, so guys, someone had asked me one time, a few times, what happens if you buy back-to-back a booster? Here, let's expand this all the way. There we go. If you buy back-to-back a booster, okay, does it list on the same booster? So look at this. Okay, look at this. This is really, really cool. Okay, so here in my back office, I have one booster with 2 purchases back to back. Now you're saying, how the heck did you do that? Well, I'll walk you through how I did it. I did not do it intentionally. I did not, but I did. I did it. Here in the back office, here under referral, under way down here, can I do a search? I don't think I can do a search this way. You'll see, there it is, okay? 023604, 022142. Oops, mine, wrong one. There, these two. 023611, 023604, okay? So 9 seconds after I bought this one, I bought that one. So this is how I have 2 boosters purchased at the same, not on the same invoice. That's why they don't list on the same invoice. Okay, doesn't list on the same invoice. It comes out with different invoices, but it is on the same IMEI. So that's why it's 2 there. So I'll explain how I did it, and I didn't do it intentionally. I was in the process of buying a package and got to the end, clearly, and must have refreshed my screen because I was on my phone at the time. Must have refreshed my screen. My screen interpreted as a resend of information and sent it a second time. Because I had funds in the account to cover it, that's why I bought the second one. My intent had been to use the funds for something else, and send them to a friend. But so this proves the question of if you buy them back to back, close enough to be back to back. And so those 2 are only 9 seconds apart. And that's why they are on the same invoice. But what happens normally is I buy one and on a separate invoice entirely is another booster. Okay. So let's quickly go through the back office and I'll show you some stuff. Okay. So from the main page, you click on the eye and you can see the amount that's what? You can see the amount that's on the screen there. And what'll happen is it shows you here the active devices as opposed to disabled devices. What'll happen is on day 1, when you buy a device, it appears here under disabled. And so until 11 o'clock this morning, my time, those last 2 that I bought were here listed as disabled. But because I'm 14 hours ahead of Kuala Lumpur, it power cycled the server and now they listed as active. So there's at no point in time can I have one listed. Can I ever show you disabled just because of time wise of when it power cycles? Okay, so it'll disable it day one, you bought it. Day two, it lists as disabled and then switches to active around lunchtime my time. Okay, midnight Kuala Lumpur time. And then on day three, you then start receiving remuneration. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second when I go through. And so here, all sorts of information you can look at. Talks about your team, talks about stuff. This amount of Bitcoin is the amount of Bitcoin that I personally have earned since May 1st. Okay, so I bought my first booster on my first shared on May 1st. Subsequent to that date, I've been receiving since the May 3rd. I've been receiving Bitcoin, and this number will only increment. It can't reduce. This number here, on the other hand, it may float around a bit because depending upon the price of Bitcoin at any given point in time, this will change. But it'll basically increment because it's incrementing. Okay. It also talks about, grab this one. It talks about total mining rewards. So it's $11. Next time. So on Monday, let's have a look at my office. It'll be, $14, maybe $20. Who knows? Okay. It'll be a little bit more. And that's all I'm going to talk about here. So the next button over under home, you've got wallet to the right. Okay. So there's 4 wallets. That's not true. There are a few wallets. Let's talk about each one. So the BTH wallet is for storing your BTH that you are buying, first of all, or as soon as we are done selling boosters, that it'll appear here as mining. And it just simply grows. Okay. You can transfer it to a friend if you want to. The easy thing about BTH is you can buy and sell it at will whenever you want. No big deal. It's not a problem. Okay. Right now, again, the BTH is used as a process to activate the booster. So 10% of the booster cost goes to BTH and then is burned afterwards. The next wallet down, USDT wallet. There's a few things that you can do with USDT. Is you can click on deposit and you can send from any of these 3 networks, the Binance, the Ethereum, and the Tron TRC. So all of them are USD. And if you just click on it, it'll show a QR code and the wallet address. If you double click on the wallet address or click copy, it copies. When you paste it someplace, here, let me move this so you guys can't accidentally take a screenshot. If you move this someplace, make sure when you copy it, when you paste it, that you read off the first 4 or 5 digits, read off the last 4 or 5 digits. That way, when you paste it any place, that everything in between is correct. Okay, and so that's what you can do with. One thing that you can do with the wallet is by depositing, and so you can deposit those three types of coins, all USDT. You can also withdraw from this wallet, and that's super great. I do it every day practically. There's a little $3 fee to withdraw. That's okay. If I wanted to make a withdrawal, I would then simply choose the amount or click on maximum, and it would withdraw. Okay, and I just added this wallet today, and so you can choose between the different types of Bitcoin, the different types of USDT to withdraw from. Okay, and then you would withdraw. The next thing that is important is in the purchase process is 90% of the purchase price has to come from either the purchase wallet, the commission wallet, or the register wallet. Okay. So for a first-time purchase, let's say I deposited $100 and you would click on convert. Okay. And you would put in 90% of the purchase price. So if it's 1 shared, it's $90. If it's 1 booster, it's $900, of course. And so if you have 2 shared, $180. 3 shared, $370, as an example. Okay, so on. 90% of the purchase price goes to here only. Do not put a penny more, because the only thing you can do in that container is simply buy a booster or transfer it to a friend. So you can also, because this is very useful information, you can transfer anywhere upstream or downstream from your organization, direct. So I can't transfer to Wendell as an example, but I can transfer to Andy, or Andy can transfer to me, or Wendell can transfer to Jan as an example. But you can only internally transfer, and that's it's set up that way so that we can help our team members when stuff goes on. Like I had a guy, he sent $1,000, and he didn't account for the cost of the gas coming off the amount he was sending. And so only $998 arrived, as an example. And so I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. You made a mistake, not a problem. And so I sent to him, those extra $2 so that he could then finish the thing. And that's what it's there for, is to be able to help out your team members. Of course, I sent it to him as registry wallet because I don't want him doing anything else other than to buy a big booster with it. But I use it as an example. So that's what you can do in the USDT container. Again, the purchase container, the only two things you can do are buy a booster or transfer the funds to a team member. Okay, that's it. And when you come down here, you can see the purchases that I've done. Okay, I've sent in the boosters, and I bought the boosters from the amounts. And when you buy a booster, you can always go back and look exactly at those wallets where it came out from, and it'll debit those wallets. For example, USDT, the last two that I purchased were right here, $10, $10 back to back. Okay, on the it shows, because there's only seconds apart, it shows the same time because it doesn't list the seconds. But you can always go back and see exactly, confirm that it went and purchased there. Okay, so that's the next wallet down, called purchase wallet. The next wallet down from that is the best wallet there is ever, because we're making Bitcoin. I love making Bitcoin. So this amount only displays what I've currently got in the wallet, and you can take those funds and you can withdraw them if you want to, doesn't matter. Okay, or you can convert them into USDT, doesn't matter. Okay, the only two things you can do are either withdrawal or swap into USDT, because it's coming from the mining pool. You can't do anything else. You have to pull it out of the mining pool and then deal with it. And so the company's set up because it's your Bitcoin. You either pull it out and withdraw it, or pull it out and convert it into USDT. Okay, that's it. And that's what I often do. Let's see, what do I have here? 34. Do I have enough to buy a shared today? Yeah, I do. I wonder if I should. I don't know. We can consider that. The next wallet. Oh, I want to show you. So notice when you have boosters that it increases over time, because I'm increasing the amount of boosters that I've got running for me. Okay. So for example, last day, 0.0016. I'm not going to repeat the rest of the number. The mining rewards works out to be $11. From the day before that, it was $10. Now, I didn't change the number of boosters these 2 days. All I did, what happens is the amount that you earn, there's a lot of factors that depend upon those factors. Number one, it could be the cost or the price of Bitcoin. Number two, the number of transactions that day. Number three, the number of transactions that we won that day. All of those factors determine how much Bitcoin we won that particular day. So even though I don't have a difference in price, in the number of boosters that I had running that day, in this particular example, it went up, $1. Big deal. Now, I need to tell you this as well. This amount, the 0.00151378869523, as an example, this number will never, ever change. This is the amount of Bitcoin I received on that day. This number, 10.489, okay, that number will display differently depending upon the price of Bitcoin. So if the price is up, this number will be higher. The price is down, it'll be lower. But this number, the amount of Bitcoin that I received, was the amount on that day, will not change. Okay, so that's what it looks like with 3.2 boosters. And I like Windows' idea too. I want to get 500 boosters as well. It's like pound, away we go. So on the first day of that I bought it on the first. Okay, so remember, I bought it on the first. I specifically chose the first because I wanted to do an experiment because I'm an IT guy. And so what happens, the time frame? So on the first, I bought my booster day one. Day two, it then appears under here in the disabled. Okay. So sometime before I go to bed, if I buy it any given day, sometime before I go to bed, it displays as disabled. The next day, after lunch, it then displays as active. So that's on day 2. And then on day 3, you start receiving Bitcoin at that point in time. And so that's why you see on the 3rd is I received Bitcoin on that day. And in this example, again, 0.0000588129700. Okay. This is the amount of Bitcoin I earned on that day. That number will never change. But this amount, 0.40, I've seen it fluctuate around. I've seen it down to 25. I've seen it up to 50. It just depends upon the price of Bitcoin on any given day, what that displays there. Okay. So that's what you need to know. And this is a very typical example. Mining rewards 40 cents, 48 cents, great. Again, I didn't have more boosters on any given day, but 61 cents there, 48 cents, 40 cents. Okay. This is my machines working for me. All right, let's go to the next wallet. Next wallet is commission wallet. So the commission wallet is mining is when someone buys a booster on, like one of my clients as an example, okay, if he buys a booster, I get paid a referral fee for that. And it arrives, 60% of it arrives here in this box, okay? And so I can use that I can buy a booster with it, or I can withdraw with it, or I can transfer it to a friend, okay? And again, this is IT team is really smart. That work for us here. And they got this all figured out, and they got it all dialed in. And so I'm really, really happy with the setup for this, the way the page works. Okay. So the referral, as an example, so $28 from the other day because someone bought a booster on direct from me. That's what that means. So 60% of the earned income that I made came to this wallet, the commission wallet. And so again, I can either buy a booster with it, or I can withdraw, or I can transfer it. And I do practically every day. I buy a booster, buy a booster, buy a booster. I made a withdrawal that day. Okay, no big deal. And it's because I want to grow my account and pull out a little bit just as I go. Okay. All right. Down to the last wallet. This is the registry wallet. The other percentage of the income comes from this. This also, you get earnings from the machines that are on the system. Okay. I didn't mention that in the other one. I'll go back to that. So you get people that are on your team that buy a booster. You get that referral as well. And the ranking income is any boosters that are on your team that over time, this is something that's really cool about this company, is they never flush any volume. You don't have to buy more stuff the next day. You don't have to buy more product the next month to keep up with your whatever it is rank that you got. There's none of that. This is the best company I have ever seen because of how it's organized intellectually, how it's organized. And it doesn't, because it's not important what you can't control what other people are doing. But everything that somebody does, even one shared, adds to your income over time. And that's what's really cool. Okay. Going back to the Bitcoin, this is also, I received Bitcoin as a result of having team members that have boosters running for them. Okay. So that was $23 a day. Okay. The other day it was $19. Okay. And so as people buy more, as my clients, because they're my clients, as they buy more, I'll get paid more too. And that's okay. All right. So that's the 4 wallets. I've already talked a little bit about this. Trading, you can buy and sell at leisure, at pleasure. It doesn't matter. And there's lots of things being sold lots of times, and people buy them at different prices. When I started off, this was at 11 cents. I've seen it hover around 35 cents for a very, very long time, and hover between 35 cents and 30 cents and 45 cents. And now it's up to 43 cents. It goes up and down. Okay. And we talked a little bit about boosters. This number here is the amount of 70 terahash is the amount one booster produces. Okay. And like you saw in that little video, if you pull out the booster, this goes down to 0. And that booster in specific will display as disabled. Okay. This other number, the one below, the 230, that's my terahash for all of my boosters combined. So 3.4 times 70 makes 230. Okay. And so that's where that number is coming from. Again, this was the amount of Bitcoin that I've received. And so what you need to do is you need to click on this file and you need to download it. This is the only place where you can get these file, the invoice, and you need to reserve these invoices for yourself so that you can take them to your tax consultant and deal with them. Okay. So take that and talk to your tax consultant. And if you're able to do write-offs, great, because you got a business that's making you money. Pay your taxes. It's important. Okay. The invoice talks about all of the stuff that each bit does. The custodian means that it's in their possession. That's all that means. And it talks about the date, my name, and it gives the booster. This is the INEI number. Okay. So if I go back to the main screen, 6110 was this one here. Okay. And so each invoice has its own serial number. And here at the bottom, it gives your 5-year warranty right here. Okay. And so you have to download these yourself. Now, if I click on one of these, what it'll say is, although on the inside, it'll say it's the same information, the file number itself, the actual file that I'm downloading, has a different name attached to it. And so that's why I've got 2 invoices on the same day for the same booster, because we already talked about that. Okay. The next is buying a package. And what you'll do is you can, this gives you all sorts of specs. It tells you how much you get, averaging per day, daily estimated between $3 and $10 a day. And that's pretty nice. That's how much each booster has. And that's where the numbers are coming from. And that's why we know how much we're making. So estimated monthly rewards, 6% to 19% per month, approximately. Okay. The last 30-day output was $285 per booster, approximately. So you can choose a package. You can either choose a booster or a shared. Doesn't matter. And then click buy now. And if you happen to have chosen the wrong one, for example, I chose shared. Oh, I meant to buy a full booster. Click full booster. That's okay. This number here will change, reflecting that. And if you want to buy more than one, you just simply go down to quantity, choose more than one, and it'll change to the amount that you do. So you don't have to buy only one per one. You can buy more. Now, I want to tell you something very important is if you are in shared, if this is your first time buying a booster, although you technically can buy 12 shared, if this is your first time, don't do that because it'll perhaps affect your friend who invited you. Because if they're within 30 days, they have a bonus, and I'll explain the bonus in a sec, but basically they get an extra $100 for every booster that's sold, and that does not equal booster, that equals 12 shared. And so if it's your first time buying one, buy one booster, and then come back in and buy 2 shared, as an example. Okay. That way, in the future, it'll list as 2 different invoices, and it'll come up. Okay. So quantity, change that to 2. It shows the amount here. I pre-set up my wallets so that when I'm now in here ready to buy, I simply see the number that I've got here. For example, if it says 90, I then type that number in. Or if it says 45, I type that number in. Whatever the number is that I prepared in here, so 41.3355, as an example, I would then type that number in, reflecting the amount in that balance. Because I personally want to clear out what's in the wallets first. It would help if it wouldn't do that. There we go. It's 5106405. Okay. And so here's the math. For those of you that have purchased more than one booster and are pulling from your account. Okay. So because you want to compound your account. The math works like this. Let's say you have 1 shared. So it's 90 90 minus what's in the registry wallet if you want to, okay? Because you can use up to 50% what's in the registry wallet, and so I'll use all of that minus what's in the commission wallet, and then the balance I would then put into the purchase wallet based upon those two numbers, okay? And then once I've got those numbers figured out, I have to leave, in this case, if I'm buying one share, $10 in USDT wallet, and there's enough there, and then I would click purchase at that point in time. And you have to click here and then click purchase. So that's how you buy a share if you already have stuff in your system, okay? The math again, I'll give you that formula. So it's $90 to buy a share. So 90 minus the registry wallet minus the commission wallet, and that gives you their balance. Put that into the purchase wallet, and then you're good to go. Okay, so that's how you buy a booster. Let's go back to the main menu, because there's lots of stuff in the main menu that I wanted to show you. And so we'll start at the top. I've already talked about these first 5 sections up here, and so we'll continue down with About Us. In About Us, it talks about the company. It talks about lots of different information, talks about people, the team, and down here you can see the interviews that have been done. These live interviews by lots of different companies, because like I said, it's a real company, and this is the best company ever, okay? So you can go down here and read all sorts of cool stuff. Next, the referral link is your link. You can click on there, and it's got a QR code. So you can log into your back office, click on the link with your phone, standing right beside your friend. Your friend goes bloop, and it pulls up the right page. The referral tree, I'll talk to you about that in a second. But basically, you can see what rank someone is. You can see how many boosters they have. You can see how many members on their team, and you can just drill down and see everything, okay? Announcements are pretty important. Come in here and read those, okay? So right now there's a challenge going on where people can win Bitcoin by the number of boosters that they sell, and you have to be on the ranking chart. The top 15 of rank will get some, and I'll show that to you in a second. There's some announcements with regards to the referral program of how they're making some changes to that. And there's a blogger contest going on. This blogger contest just ended, so it doesn't matter. And there's a referral, new startup for new people. So the way that works is if you're within your 30 days, if you have a friend that decides to buy a booster, you get an extra $100, and you can do that 5 times with the first booster that they purchase. Okay. Coming down here, there's no events. Well, there is an event going on, but it doesn't affect us. So referrals. So in here is where you can see all sorts of useful information about your account. Okay. So it talks about your current rank, how many boosters you have, how many boosters you've got for people on your specific team direct to you, and how many people you've got in your group. Okay. In my case, that doesn't reflect the numbers accurately because I put people downstream of mine people because I'm trying to help people. And so actually most of this is actually supposed to be here, but that's okay. I want to help people, and that's how I'm helping people. It also talks about new rank. And so this is the next rank I need to achieve. It is 3-star. And so I need to have 5 boosters of my own, which I will have. And group sales, I'll need to have 270 boosters and 2 2-star. Okay. So that's how that works. And it talks about the whole entire team. 75 successful, people have purchased booster, and 129 have not yet. That's okay. But speaking of that, so you can go to talk to technical support and say, hey, this person on my team, can I have them give them my email address, or can you give me their email address, and you can communicate with them, because that way you can communicate. And it talks about the number of people who have X star on your team. Okay. So this is as we go down on here, this shows in real time those purchases that were made, like I showed you just a second ago. Mine were way down here. There we go. And so, I purchased one, and a couple seconds later, because I hit refresh, it purchased another one. So warning, don't hit refresh. click continue, click OK to get out of the system completely, and click, actually click the buttons that say OK, and don't inadvertently swipe and hit refresh because it simply bought another booster on me. So there we go. Now you guys know. But so let's say I don't know who this guy is. I mean, I do know who he is, but let's just use this as an example, okay? And so he bought a share yesterday. Yeah, he bought a share yesterday in my time. Okay, so let's say I don't know who he is, but I want to congratulate him, and I want to congratulate the person that invited him because he's not direct to me. Okay, so I've copied his name, what I did, and so I'm going back up to the referral tree. Okay, here under you click on the search button, type his name. Okay, there it is, and I want to display everybody between me and him. So off we go. Search, and it shows me, it shows my stars. This button over here, just as an example, is information. This is another way to get information about me, on myself, or my team members. And it's just another place to be helpful so that those people, there's no impetus to have to grow a team, but those people that are growing a team, they have a way to understand what's going on in their team. So this guy here, he has a team member, and that was him right there, who bought a share. Okay, so that shows the share that he bought just yesterday. So he's now up to 0.5 share, and that's okay. You start where you're at, you build your account where you're at, and we're all just focusing on growing our own accounts, okay, and getting to where we are in a financially healthy statement, a healthy place, okay, and that's how you find out that information. So you just click on the search button, put on the person's name, click on display, and away it goes. If you happen to know of, let's see if I can do it right. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Oh, I spelled it wrong. No big deal. So if you happen to know a name, you can type it in and it'll do a search. But that's how. Otherwise, if you simply look, like with some people, it can be masses of amounts of information, too much information to figure out where this person is, what's going on. All right, so let's go talk about an important thing. So that was the referral tree. That was referral. Okay, here under support ticket is you can have create a ticket for the IT department. Right now it's 4 o'clock in the morning there, so there won't be anybody responding. So yeah, but they are very responsive during regular business hours, Monday to this Saturday. They will respond pretty quickly on there. You can change the language to say you speak a different language other than English, and many of us do. Just change it if you like that differently. If I was having this conversation in Spanish, I would, of course, be showing the Spanish account because that way it's easier for people to read. Next is the count. In here, this is where important things are for you. So back to the lady that had the question at the very, very beginning. I presume that your email address is correct because you authenticated your account. Okay, so I presume it's correct. Next thing, you need to go in and make sure on your Google account, like log on online and go that way, because maybe something got put into the spam container. Check all email. Okay, this is if you were able to send the email, it's sent. So that's under update profile. You can change the email address if you want to. Withdrawal address. This is, you need to set these addresses because after 24-hour, it'll then come live. So if you come in here, this is just a way to protect you. So if you come in here and if perchance your account got hacked and they change your email, you change your withdrawal addresses, okay? They'll send you an email saying, hey, you've changed your address, and this gives you an opportunity to respond and deal with it if something untoward happens. Okay. With regards to the UTP, so 2FA, okay, and the OTP. If I had OTP enabled here, it would come up here listed. And what would happen is I have to put in the OTP first and then request an OTP, and it'll count down. I then go to my email address, type in this number, and then I go get the 2FA and type that in, because the 2FA changes every 30 seconds. Okay. And so that's how you have to do it in that order. You put in the OTP first, click send, it goes to your email, you retrieve the number, and then you go to your Google Authenticator and type in those 6-digit numbers up here, and then you come down and hit update. That's the way you do it. So that may be the problem, is you're not doing it in the right order. Okay, so click submit OTP first. It sends a number to your email. Then you do the 2FA, and then you click. Okay, so that's how you do that. Put these in that way. Then after 24 hours, you can just simply drop down, choose which method you want to withdraw. Change password. So your password, when you set them up to begin with, they have to be at least 8 characters, have to have an uppercase, lowercase, and a numerical value and a special character. Okay. But when you set it up the first time, both of these 2 passwords will be the same. If you change one of them, let's say your login password, that only changes this one. If you change the deal with money password, that will be this one. And by the way, if you forget the money password, the security password, that's okay. It will require that you've got 2FA enabled to then change it. And then once you've changed it, you can remember. Okay. So you have to have 2FA enabled to change the security password. And the security password only deals with anytime you want to transfer money from one account to another or to do anything to do with money. The login password can be different if you have changed it. And those are the things here. 2FA. This is really important. When you go in here, write this code down in your special place where you write your special codes that you give to your lawyer so that your lawyer can give to, put in a special envelope. That way your family member has a way to get back into your accounts if there is a problem, like you died, and that way your family has a way to get back in. Write this code down. In your Exodus wallet, write that code down and put it in the special place. Put it in the fireproof safe. Put it in, make 2 copies of it. Give 1 copy to your lawyer. Okay. Another thing that you should do with 2FA, for an example, let's say you have an account here and your wife has an account. Put one of the 2FAs on your phone. Put your wife's 2FA on your phone. Put her 2FA on her phone. Put your 2FA on her phone. That way, if there's something happens to one of your phones really quickly, you've got another way to get back in. Just borrow their phone. Because then if your phone takes a drink, falls, gets destroyed for whatever reason, you still have a way to get back in because you now have quick access to your 2FA. You don't have to go through the process of telling technical to reset it. Okay. So IT perspective, this is me talking to you as your IT friend. Do that with your 2FA, please. Okay. All right. I think we are almost done. Oh, leadership board. So the leadership board, this is where I'm talking about. This is right now, there's a contest going on with regards to earning some Bitcoin. So right now, the top player has got 80 direct sales to his team. So of course I can't do this because most of my direct people are not on my direct team. They're down below me, but that's okay. But the top persons get 0.8 Bitcoins. The 15th gets 0.3 Bitcoins. Okay. And this is really cool. It's another way to get some Bitcoin. And so this guy has 10. That's wonderful. 10, 10, 10 is a nice number to start off with your business. Okay. And that's a good way to get some extra coin. All right. So that would be the entire back office. What is this? Oh, that's the new ranking information, just so you guys know. On here, I think that is it now. And the last thing is community, which will take you to an external web page. Feel free to look at that. And this is logout. So periodically, if something happens, it says, oh, couldn't contact, comes up a red flash, click logout, and then log back in. You're good to go. All right. Can't think of anything else to say. Is there something else that someone else would like to hear? Hey, I just wanted to
point out one thing, Walter.
Yes.
So I just wanted to point out one thing. Some of you know that the marketing plan changed on the 1st of November today. Just to show you how quick the company are, everything in the back office that needs to be updated has already been updated. So when you're looking at your referrals and what you need to do for your next rank, it already lists all the way up to 8 stars now. When you're looking at your referral tree, you can see people all the way up to your 8 stars. That's it, and all the different qualifications already updated and ready to go. There's no drama, no fuss, no taking the website down for a week where we couldn't withdraw. It was just done quickly, quietly, professionally in the background, just like Walter would have done if he'd have been in charge of the upgrade project. There's no need to disturb the whole world just to make changes like this. So just points again to a very, very professional company. What say you?
Sorry, wasn't paying attention. Repeat your
Okay.
question.
I said the updates to the back office have just happened in the background. No fuss. Just worked first time. That's how you'd have run the project.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I really appreciate projects that are run with a real IT team. It's awesome.
None of this take the website down for a week and nobody can withdraw while we're doing some upgrades and stuff like that.
Yes. Okay.
We've got a
Vinny,
question from Vinny. Vinny, come and say hi. I haven't heard from you for a little while.
Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Hi, Andy, Walter. Yeah, I was in the office this morning. You mentioned the upgrades already. And I was looking at my rank and I noticed that they've put an extra 10 boosters on the Star 2 qualification.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they've actually put in 2 1-stars. 2 1-star rankings below you guys. I mean, below myself if I need to get in there, and so they didn't have that before. I don't think. Anyway, this is something I noticed, and it's made my job harder. Now I've got to get, like, I've got 18, I think, in my whole group. I need another, 70 to get to 19. To get to 90 boosters. That's a big jump. That's a big hike for me.
But
Anyway,
the good news is,
yeah.
Vinny, just keep persisting and you will get there. Nothing ever disappears. It's not like you're putting them in faster than they can quit. Every single booster, every single part of a booster that gets bought in your group is in your group forever then. So you're building on success.
No, that's great. And at the same time, I know it's still growing. It's growing. My team's growing. More boosters every day. But it will get there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
Well, thanks anyway. Great.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions, comments?
I've been trying to find out something about there's something on the back office now about downloading an app to your phone.
Yeah.
I've not been able to find anything about it from the company or from Jan. I put some messages out. When I looked into the code behind that, it went to sorry, my antivirus software gave me a warning. So I'll find out. All I'd say is everybody on the call now, you can go and download it, but be at your own risk. I would suggest wait until somebody says yes, this is official, because we've not heard. There's no announcement about it. We've not heard anything. There's nothing in the chat rooms about it. So we'll just wait. Don't download that and mess up your account or whatever. Just wait until we've got confirmation that it's from the company. And I notice it's not on your page, Walter, but it is on all of my pages.
Oh, it's because I had clicked on it and I had clicked on it and so it disappeared. And so I wasn't sure if by me clicking on it, it disappeared. And if I was actually, if somehow something had happened on my computer and I had been redirected to another web page that was fake, I wasn't sure. And so I'm going, okay, well, I'm not downloading this because it is, I haven't heard any announcement on it yet. And so I haven't played with it. But yeah, that's why it's not displaying.
Okay, I fully expect. There's not been anything in the roadmap either about the fact they're going to have an app, so we'll wait and see.
Yeah,
it's not like we're all sat here thinking, "Oh, where's the app they promised us?" But I've not heard anything about it. So, oh my God, Rise just said app is good. Thanks for that, Frank. Okay, well, somebody just told us that the app is good.
all right.
personally, I'm going to wait to find out through the official channel that that's what we should be doing.
And I don't need more apps on my phone anyways, because a web page works fine for me. I'm okay with that. I don't need an app. So
Yeah.
all right. Is there any other comments people would like to talk?
I've been answering the chats, but let's just say I might have missed a couple. Is there a WhatsApp group? No, it's Telegram groups. You need to be registered and be able to show proof of purchase, and then get your introducer to add you to the different Telegram groups.
Sorry, I forgot to send some information to the chat, so I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay. Hey Walter, I haven't received my booster for my wheel spin win from you and Jan to me. What do you need from me? Okay, if you send Jan on Telegram, his account name is at the sign Jan Speed. Okay, and send him the fact that you won and your username back, your BitHarvest username. Okay, and he will send you whatever the prize was on that day, whether it was a shared or half of a shared or whatever. Hi Robin, did you message Jan with the? Oh, sorry, you already answered that. He's on holiday, still in hospital. Yeah, he's not in hospital anymore. He's made a good recovery. I think he's taken it a little bit easier than he would normally, but he's actually with the 4 stars in Phuket.
Yeah.
However you pronounce it.
The doctors told him to take it easy, and so basically it forced him to take a break, and that's okay. It's okay to take a break periodically.
Okay, and Onu asked the question, do you have time to ask questions? We've got all the time in the world for you to ask questions, and we'll be happy to answer them. So just put your hand up and tell us what your question is. This product is absolutely amazing. Jeff, you're absolutely right. Okay, so that's all the chat. That's all the questions in chat. What Walter is pasting in the chat now is all the possible information you could need to find everything you need to find. Different people's Telegram handles, channels where you can find information. You can find flyers, leaflets, promotion material, YouTube videos, all sorts of absolutely everything you need to know. The way to save all that information is at the top of the chat. If you're on a computer, at the top of the chat, there's 3 buttons. If you're on a phone, the 3 buttons are at the bottom of the chat. But either way, you get a menu, and the first option on the menu is to save chat. Click that, and it gets put into a folder in your Zoom. So within your folder structure somewhere, you have all your Zoom folders, and you have a Zoom folder made just for this meeting, and you'll find a little text file in there with all that information in there.
I'm not confident that that works on the phone. I tried it the other day.
Okay. Why my referral link goes to my downside, not me?
Nick, your referral link is your referral link. I'll show you your link afterwards. But it comes up with your name. It is your referral link. And so anybody that will click on that link will get to where you go. Now, you have more than one account, and so you may be dealing with the wrong account.
I'll leave that with you then, Walter.
I will deal with that.
Excellent. Okay, guys. Well, if there's no other questions, we're gonna wrap this up. It's been blimey, been two and a quarter hours, so that's quite long enough. Yeah, please do, Arno, come just. Well, let me tell you what. Let's ask you to unmute. So just come on the call, unmute yourself, and come and talk to us.
Oh no? Yeah, let's hear what you have to say.
Do you know how to unmute yourself? There's a little.
He is unmuted. He just needs to speak.
Okay. Just speak to us, Arno.
Can't hear you.
No, is your microphone switched on? Plugged in?
Feel free to type your question. It's not a problem. Well, we can sit for a few minutes and wait for it if you need
Okay.
to.
No, we can't hear you, Ono, so there's something technical wrong at your end, I suggest. But by all means, get that sorted and see us again on Monday. We'll do the same thing again, and you can ask your questions then. Or write them in the chat. You can write them in the chat where you say, "Can I still ask my question?" Just type it in there.
And starting Monday, for us in the West, in the Northern Hemisphere, we will be back to regular time because our time will have changed to reflect Andy's already moving to a new time. So
You'll have caught up with Britain, which a lot of people are trying to do, to be honest.
But in the Southern Hemisphere, it may be that you've already done your time changes.
Can someone receive referrals bonus if you have only shares? Yes, absolutely. As long as you've got at least 0.1 share, then you can receive a commission for the sales of boosters, either personal or in your team. I think that's right, isn't it, Walter?
You do receive, yes, direct to you, like your direct client, you will receive a referral fee for that, and anything that's on your team that has boosters, you receive the Bitcoin for that. Yes.
Yeah.
At below 1 star.
You're welcome. Okay, so if we're done with questions, then we'll call it a night. And we'll do the same thing again on Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week. As Walter said, it'll be back to regular times, but we post this list of times every single day. We're doing a Zoom call. We post it in the BitHarvest Bitcoin movement Telegram group. So just keep an eye on there that the time you think it's going to be is the time that we've posted. Whatever we posted, I was going to say whatever we posted is correct. I won't be so bold. I've made mistakes in that before, but it should be.
Yeah, it'll still be 6 p.m. UK time.
6 p.m. UK time.
Yeah, so those people in the Southern Hemisphere, like New Zealand stuff, I don't know if you guys change time or when you change time, but you'll need to make sure that it's 6 p.m. UK time. And we, of course, will try our best to make sure that we've got up to date in the link itself, the actual time that we think it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and as I've said a few times before, bring all your new people. You want to get your people educated about what we do, how we do it. The easiest way is bring them along, let us explain it to them, because I've done it many times myself where I talk to people for hours. I give them all my best stuff, all my tips and techniques and knowledge. Okay, and then they talk to Walter, and Walter says something, and they turn to me and say, "Why didn't you tell me that?" I told you 5 times. So they hear it from somebody else sometimes better than they will from yourself. Not only that, we want these meetings to be large meetings. We want hundreds, if not thousands, of people on these meetings, so that when we bring new people along, their belief level is completely overwhelmed by the number of other people that are doing this. Now we can say, well, there's 45 other organizations out there in the world, and they've all got a few hundred each on their Zoom calls. That's not the same as coming to a Zoom call and seeing a few hundred people. Okay, so let's make that happen. We'll bring all our new people on, and we'll get the belief level of brand new people totally overwhelmed just by sheer numbers. And that's it from me. I've enjoyed spending the time with you, spending my birthday evening with you.
Yeah.
Gonna go see my wife
again,
now.
buddy. So what are you, 55 now?
I'm 18 on the inside.
There you go.
Or 55 plus VAT. Do you have VAT in Canada?
VAT, no.
Okay, so I'm 55 plus tax.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for us it's GST.
Okay.
And I conveniently live in a province that does not have PST, so that's nice.
Okay. I'll have to come and visit.
Yeah, free. Come on over. We got some beautiful mountains, bud. All right. Any other comments, questions? All right, looks like we don't. So, Nick, if you'd like to stay on the line, I'll boot everyone else off, and we'll have a look at your back office right now. I'll explain. Well, Andy's free to stay on as well. Okay. Here's the short. Nick, if you don't care if someone sees your back office, then we can do your question live right now, and I'll show you how to look up your referral link, and I'll show you why I know what your referral link is. So feel free to unmute. Anyone that wants to jump off can jump off, and I'd like to deal with Nick's question potentially personally. And I've also unmuted everyone else to say you can opportunity to say goodbye. So goodbye.
Couple of freedom days.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going to own freedom instead of your bosses.
So Nick, stay on the line. Sigmar, stay on the line because this will be useful information for you. And Majid, stay on the line as well. Everyone else is free to go. Andy, you can stay on the line too. I don't care. Okay, I'm going to show.
So I'm going to go because somebody earlier asked me for a Zoom call, and I said that I would do that after this Zoom call. So,
yep, by all means.
I think we wanted me to stick around. I'm going to.
Yeah, no, you're free to go. I'm sure you know how to look up this information as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. God bless everyone. Bye now.
Yeah, have a good one. All right, I'm going to start dumping people, and those people that can stay, I'll stay and talk with you right now. Mervyn, you can stay as well. Frank, you're out of here.
Sure, Jim.